still feel sleepy. I'm very sleepy and drowsy. Ha! Gotcha. Just messing with you. Hello, Krish's photography viewers. I'm Krishan Srinivasan, a fine art photographer. I welcome you all to this episode. Hope you guys are fine with my sambar and dal khichdi kind of English accent, by which I mean my Indian English accent. Do you know the English song which I usually sing quite often? The fun never ends with the black blender. Just messing with you. But that is the only English song which I have ever known since my school days, you know. And I was just messing with you. I do listen to other English songs. I think from now on you guys are going to put my sambar and dal khichdi English accent into the every English song that you're going to listen to. I'm going to be messing with your head so much, huh? You know, when I first thought of doing this photography stand-up, I thought I should book some venues, print some invitations, put the notifications on Facebook, event kind, you know, to go live on Facebook, to go live on YouTube and everything, you know. When this thought was going in my mind, only then I realized I absolutely had no budget, and my budget was too low that I have decided to do this stand-up comic even without an audience. There will be some real stand-up comedian out there watching me and telling that you should try before some live audience, man. Only then you will know what you are. I'll be like, try sponsoring me. Wait, what? Jokes apart. Wait, let's have them too. And how many of you guys have come with your DSLRs to this photography stand-up? I see some faces and hands over there right in front of the computer or the mobile phone. Sorry guys, this one is for mirrorless camera users. Gotcha, just messing with you. It's okay, DSLR users can also stay here, but don't take more space, no? Be like mirrorless. I'm pretty sure like there is one guy right in front of his computer saying that I use mirrorless. To all those guys, hi dudes, I use mirrorless too. High five! Hope you guys know me from my previous videos that I used to be an engineer, then I figured out like what I have to do in my life, and then I decided to become a visual effects artist. Then I quit my job and was a freelance artist for some time, and then again due to monetary constraints, and then I took up another job as a UX designer, and then I quit the job and I decided to be a photographer, and now I also do YouTube videos, right? It's really hard for me to convince a few of my friends and other people that I'm still sticking on to this for a long time. Even my parents are thinking right now like this guy is going to bail out anytime. Even for me, when I stand before the mirror sometimes, I'll be like, you are a fine art photographer. You, photographer? With a question mark. You, photographer. You, photographer. You, photographer. You, photographer. Come on man, there is no one in this room. It's just you. You, a photographer. Yeah man, you. That's how I have my denario moments every now and then. Whatever man. I never heard a story or an hierarchy like a student complaining to his friend saying that, oh my god, my parents are forcing me to study photography, man, like everyone else, but I wanted to be a scientist, I wanted to be a biotech engineer, I wanted to do something specialization regarding vibrations, automotive. We never heard such stories, but actually it's otherwise around, like people who are musicians, architecture, and people are in different positions, they quit whatever they are doing and they wanted to be a photographer, they come into photography, and most common expression that you'll find is like an engineer who took up a job in IT and now he wants to be a photographer. I'm no different from that anyways. In India, it's always been like this. You know, people go to preschool, mid-school, high school, and then they do engineering. Only then people are given with rights to think about what they have to be in their life, to figure out what they want to do in their life, to sell tea or be a photographer. It's always funny to think about that, like how and what they do to convince their parents, their relatives, their neighbors. Oh my god, it takes a lot of energy, man. To all those people, all I have to say is this, like love and photography. You will just know. Even for this photography stand-up, right, to figure out what content I need to write or to joke about, like I thought, why not do the usual thing that I do on my Krish photography channel, like I talk about the writing experience to the players, then I joke about my photography experience, the photo walks that I do, then I joke about the ride back to my home experience and everything, but it kind of dawned upon me, like you make a lot of preparations to figure out where to go and how to take and everything, but the time taken to take a picture, it goes under a second. It's like click, that's it, you make a picture, click, that's it, you make a picture. You can see that very well in my videos as well. But the fear was like, what if I'm going to say a joke about my photo walk and it did not land well and people are laughing under a second, like, ha, you say a joke. That's how I take a picture and people are like, ha, come on man, it takes 3 hours to complete the laugh, like, ha, ha, ha. But people are going under a second, like, ha. Oh my god, that fear really dawned upon me for a long time. A long time. Only then I gained confidence to do something like, okay, I'll talk about every experience of photography that I encountered in my life, like either in front of the camera or behind the camera. Not completely though, but the ones that I remember and add a little bit of fictional element to it, No one would want to hear about the two-wheeler experience, the riding experience, but I would talk about something, right in front of the camera or behind the camera. So, when I started my two-wheeler, right, for the photo walk, got you, just messing with you. So, you will just know, right, when you want to be a photographer and everything, but when you actually discuss this with your parents, like your fathers will come up with some stories and you'll have some friends and they will have some stories, your grandfather will have some stories, your grandmothers will have some stories, she might even bring a book saying like this photographer got published in so-and-so, everything, he is a relative of so-and-so, so-and-so. Oh my god, everyone will come up with one story saying like this guy tried so much and this guy failed and he did not see the light at the end of the day and everything. I was like, when it is end of the day, no one will see the light, sun will go down. And my father was like, you'll never be a photographer. But later he was the one who gave his PF to fund everything and all that. But it's more like the one picture of the dandelion that you took countless numbers, like when you bought your first camera, that picture of dandelion and the dewdrop, that will be there in your entire folder, filling up your entire folder of the pictures, you will hear so much stories from your friends and relatives and parents, it's always endless, man. Those stories even continue to the places where you go for photography, like suppose you are on the street doing some street photography and everything, only then you will come across few of your friends or friends of friends or your father, friends of father or your grandfather, who it might be your neighbor sometime, like, oh, Krishna, you're doing some photography over here. Yes, uncle, it's going great. Great, huh? Okay, let's hear more about your greatness. Only then you'll realize like your greatness already has come down to all right. As you talk to your friend or neighbor or uncle, your father's friend, whoever it is, like that, all right, even comes down to, okay, oh my god, what am I doing? Only then you'll realize like your camera is sweating, your lens is sweating, your filter is sweating, you are sweating, and the entire reality just flashes before your eyes. Only then you feel like you put your camera to your head and shoot yourself and die. Those are run for your life moments, man. Run for your life moments. But when you complete that photography, come to your home, put that SD card in your computer and take a look at those pictures, like those are the moments which gives you happiness, like there will be 1,000 Danlian pictures, there will be 1,000 Judah pictures, but still it will give you some sort of happiness, but out of those 1,000 pictures, there will be even more selfies of yourself holding your camera, That's when you know you're a beginner, and it's the cliched photograph of every photographer in this world. They might have come across this moment at least once in their life, having them holding the camera and taking a selfie of themselves. But when you show these pictures to your parents, they are the ones who will support you, man. The parents, they really do support you. They'll be like, right from the start, as they look at the pictures, they will know like it's very primitive. You're a beginner and you have just begun your career and everything, but they are the ones who will really support you, they do support you, but actually they'll laugh about your pictures on your back, but they're the ones who is going to support you, They'll be like, that photograph, oh my God. They'll be laughing at your pictures, but they are the one who is going to support you. At the beginning, even when I told this news to my parents, like I quit my job, I want to do photography. My parents were like, what? You quit your job again? You want to do photography? Okay, now this is not the first time, so I want to hear it complete. I want to hear the entire story. Tell me what you want to do in photography. I was like, damn, that's too much for me. I just figured out like I want to do photography. I do not know what I want to do in photography. You know what I mean. I really don't know what I want to do in photography. My parents were like, oh my God, that's not good. Guys, give me some time. I just made my decision. Wait. You know what? I want to do architecture photography. No. Wait. My dad and my mom was like, oh my God, not again. And I was just figuring out what I actually wanted to do, and I was like, Dad, hold on a second. Let's say like you started your career in Bharat Heavy Electricals Limited, right? BHE, right? My dad was like giving a very strong stare at me, and kind of sweat my pants, Then my dad goes like, just messing with you, and just to ease your mood and tension, right? So I was like, wait, just answer me this. You started your career in BHU, right? As a, you did your engineering, then you become general foreman and climbed your hierarchy, and then you become the deputy general manager, and then you retired from BHU, right? Yeah, I'm listening. Yeah. Let me see where you're going with this. I was like, I just figured out I want to do photography, right? I want to try various things, and then I'll climb my hierarchy and say like, I just want to be a fine art photographer, There I said it. I want to do fine art photography. See, if I become a fine art photographer, I'll be a fine art photographer for the rest of my life. There is no retirement here. Unlike you, Dad. My dad was like, oh, is it like that? Okay, I started my career with 900 Indian rupees as my package. What's your package? I was like, Dad, you know what I am. I just quit my job and I'm willing to do photography. I'm living with you guys after all, so there is nothing like that. My dad goes like, so you're a baggage without a package. I was like, oh my God, well, I have landed. Oh my God. My dad was like, just messing with you. Then my mom goes like, where is my package, my gratuity, my provident fund? I've been serving in this marriage as a homekeeper from 1981. Where is all of mine? My dad takes a gulp and looks at my mom. Moms are the best, man. They try to save you all the time. And mom was like, just messing with you. So I went to one of the photo exhibitions, right? This is after like I got into photography and I declared myself as fine art photographer and everything, So I was glancing at every print of each one's work and all the photographs which was there on the wall and everything. And I happened to meet this guy next to me and he was like, hi, hello, and all the formal introductions went on. And he happened to ask me like, what do you do for a living? So I proudly said to him like, I'm a fine art photographer. And he asked me like, does any of your work displayed here? And I was like, no, I have everything on my phone. He just looked at me up and down and he said like, Henry Cartier-Bresson never accepted him as a photographer, you know that? I was like, wow. And this is all going in the back of my mind. I was like, you could say the name like that? When I started my career, I didn't even know how to pronounce his name. I was like all Indian about it. I was like, Henry Cartier-Bresson. And I was laughing to myself, and this is also inside the mind. I was like, wow. And he just walked away, and I got to move to the next photograph thinking all that, wow. So I was still at the hall, and I was moving on to the next photograph, and I happened to meet another guy who was like little middle-aged, and he was like, oh, hi, how are you? What are you doing? And all the formal introductions went on, and he asked me like, so what do you do for a living? I was like a little skeptical and went on like this. I take pictures, but I'm not a photographer. So he just gave me a strange look, and he immediately pulled out his phone from the pocket and he dialed to my dad. Oh my god, I didn't even know like he was friend of my dad, and he called my dad like, Mr. Srinivasan, what is this? Your son is saying like he's simply taking pictures and he's wasting time. He's not even a photographer, it seems. What is this? Find him a good girl, get him married, you know, like he's totally wasting his time. And I was like, oh no, what to do, and I just disappeared from there, man. I just disappeared from that place. So I was still at the photo exhibition, right? I was trying to hide myself from the people who I might think like I know them. You know, I was still hiding myself and still trying to take a look at the pictures which was displayed on the wall. And in that process, I accidentally bumped into yet another person. And after all the formal introductions and everything, we arrived at the same question. What do you do for a living? So this time I took a second, thought about my previous experiences, and I was like, I sell prints of my photographs. He was like, oh good, how much? And I was like, 10,000 Indian rupees for A3 plus size print. And he was like, what? 10,000 rupees? God damn, 10,000 is too much. You know that Xerox shop Papu makes 10 copies of each photographs for 5 rupees. I was like, probably he must have printed the flyers for his house rent or something. And then I was like, I was just messing with you. And what I did is like, there is tea and biscuits served over there, sir. Come, let's go. And that's how I shut his mouth. So, when you're out there in the field taking some photographs in your photo walks and everything, you know, like you'll come across this one curious guy who would like to know the price of everything that you have on your photo walk. So you'll be total gentleman when he is approaching you with the feeble voice, you know, like, sir? Yeah. Camera, sir? Yeah, camera. How much, sir? This much, sir. And you will try to still take pictures, you know, like. Then he will move on to the lens. Lens, sir? Yeah, lens. How much, sir? This much, sir. And it's a chain reaction, man. It's a chain reaction. Then he will not stop at all, and you would like to know everything about what you have, what you do, and what his likes, what his dislikes, and everything. He will go around the world and come back to you. And you don't have time for all that, and you'll try to explain your uneasiness through the body language, you know, like you'll adjust your cap, adjust your body strap, you'll try to take a look at the time. Unfortunately, you won't have a watch by then you will try to take a look at the mobile, see if there is a call or WhatsApp messages that you need to look around, you know. Unfortunately, there will be no messages or call, and even sometimes no reception at all, but you cannot stop the radio that is going in front of you. And sometimes they even want to take a look at the pictures that you have taken at the moment. And that's when you realize, oh my god, I got to get rid of this guy. You'll try to explain him like, sir, I'm losing the good light over here, but still they won't leave you, you know, like they would like to know what is what and everything. So that's when what you do is you pull out your visiting card and give it to him. So by the time he got distracted by the visiting card that you gave him, you talk about the money factor associated to the services that you offer. You talk about the money of the prints that you sell, you know, like as soon as people hear the word money, you know, the rupees and everything, that's when they start to back off. Now you don't back off. Now you hold that guy for next 5 minutes and make him sweat his pants talking about the money factor attached to your services, and make him realize like he should not approach another photographer in the field and start asking everything that he did to you, like. So that's one of the funniest experiences you will come across on the photo walks, man. That's always funny. Though you might find this experience funny, I used to be that curious guy back in my college days, bugging the photographers, asking about his equipment and the price tags. One fine day, my friend got a camera for himself. I was like, "Oh, you got a new camera?" "Yeah, I got a new camera." "How much does that cost?" Like, he was like, "This much." "What is that, lens? How much that one cost?" Like, he was like, "This much." "What is that you have in front of your lens?" "It's called filters." "How much that one cost?" Like, "This much." "What is the sticker that you have behind your camera?" "It's called scratch guard." "How much that one cost?" "This much." Oh my god, that's when I started evaluating him. Like, you wear shoes of this much, your jeans cost you that much, your shirt cost you that much, you wear a watch of this much. What is that on your eyes? Sunglasses? Ray-Ban? God damn, that doesn't even have a scratch guard. That cost you that much? Oh my god, when you walk out of your house, you walk with this much of a price tag? That's when he gave me a look like this. And that's when I learned my first lesson, like, not to bug anybody. That's my very first lesson. And I never repeated it. Then I looked at my friend and went like this. "Nah, I was just messing with you." Back in my school days, I used to be the most pampered kid in my home, and my parents showed so much love and kindness, and particularly during the breakfast, which I remember right now, my mom used to serve wonderful crispy dosas with butter and clarified butter and everything, and I loved that session so much that I used to wait for the breakfast to come every morning. And when I have my dosas and everything, when I tell my mom, like, "Mom, I cannot have anymore, I'm done," that's when she served one more, even more crispier dosa to me with clarified butter and everything. And with that delightful happiness mood, like to receive the same kind of love and kindness from others, I used to go to school. And for me, that day was a photography session, a group photography session for the entire class, and also a photography session for your ID card. I was like, okay. I was so happy and delightful. I was also expecting the same from the photographer, and I didn't care like what he was doing and everything. I was so playful in my school, and when my turn came, I was expecting the same thing. Oh my god, I'm going to be in a photograph today, and that's going to be there in the wall sometime. I was like, oh my god, I was so laughing, and I was there, and the photographer was like, "Come, stand, click, wait, check, go." Damn, I was in shock. I never expected that from the photographer. Oh my god, like, this was the case every time in every standard of my school. And when I went to the college, wait for a second, let me recall. No, I was not there in the group photo of the college, but it was the case every time when I stood before for a passport size photograph or anything. So that's when I decided, if at all I'll be a photographer in the future, I would never be a passport size photographer. I'm a big movie lover. I watch all sorts of movies, Indian movies, Middle East, European, Western, Hollywood, Japanese, Korean, all sorts of movies. I do love plays, and I had this wild idea, like, what if Shakespeare was a photographer? And you may not find the connect between Shakespeare and Indian movies mostly, but I do had few English lessons where Shakespeare was involved, so that's how I knew a little bit of Shakespeare. And I had this wild idea. What if Shakespeare was a photographer? So I'll say a few lines from Shakespeare in the perspective of a photographer, okay? So the first one goes like this. "A camera, my kingdom for camera. A good photographer looks not with the lens, but with the mind." Hypothetically, let's say that I happen to show my photographs to Shakespeare, and this is how Shakespeare might have replied. "We have seen better photographs." I have always wondered what if Quentin Tarantino was a photographer. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of baths in the movie. Developer, fixer, cleanser, water. Obviously, he's a photographer now. There's going to be no bloodbaths and everything. But there will be a lot of homages of the images of Henry Cartier-Bresson, René Barry, Ray Metzger, and everybody. The Hateful Eight. You need to hang all the mean films. But mean films, you need to hang. Django. He looks at the films and says this. I like the way you drive, boy. Pulp Fiction. Click one picture again. I dare you. I double dare you. Bad boy. Reservoir Dogs. If you shoot me in a dream, you better wake me up and give me a print. Tarantino is always fun, man. He is fun. His movies are fun. Coming to Bollywood, what if Amitabh Bachchan ji was a photographer? Amitabh Bachchan ji turns to his brother and says, I have a Canon, I have a Nikon, I have a Fuji, I have car, bank balance, house, property. What do you have? His brother turns to Amitabh Bachchan ji and says, Mere paas Leica hai. I have Leica. Amitabh Bachchan ji goes like this, God damn, if you sell your Leica, you could have anything that I have. Actually, you can buy a house in India for the price of Leica. What if Shah Rukh Khan ji was a photographer? I wonder what he would say. Probably, I love you, camera. Coming to down south, Bollywood cinema, I love and respect Mr. Mani Ratnam sir, and I always have wondered like what Mani Ratnam sir would do as a photographer. Let's say he arranges a photo shoot with Kamal Haasan sir, and Mani sir asks Kamal Haasan sir like, Sir, what do you like? Film or digital? Kamal Haasan sir be like, Teriliye pa, I don't know man. What if Rajinikanth sir was a photographer? Now, one picture edta, adu 100 picture edta. If I click one picture, it's like I have taken 100 pictures. What if a comedian and actor from down south, Bollywood cinema, Nagesh sir was a photographer? A scene from movie Edur Neecha. Major Soundarajan sir shouts at Nagesh like, Patava, rascal, did you steal the watch, vessels, clothes, gold and everything? Nagesh sir be like, Nair, camera. Eyes and eyes talk, everybody understands and everything goes on. Did you see the connect? Did you see the connect? Malayali, Nair, Quentin Tarantino, Neo Nair. Oh no, I know it was a bad joke. You know what guys, after recording for this photography stand-up since morning, I'm wondering, I also seriously considering the options of quitting as a fine art photographer and be like a full-time stand-up comedian. Nah, I was just messing with you. That's my time guys. Hope you guys all enjoyed it. Have fun and I wish you all a happy new year.